bit sick, and I was written off as dead. 11 doctors tried to help me, and they could not. What had happened was I had been working the regular way in which a Hollywood press agent works. That's what I did. 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day at your desk, and then go out and try and drum up some business at night. Sleep maybe 2-3 hours and go back to work. That was just fine until I got pneumonia. It bothered me a lot because I had followed my dad in being a well-dressed dude, and I knew that I had an attractive appearance. It was very important to me. I was a caregiver to 37 clients. All was well until the pneumonia. They put me in the hospital, punched my lungs, had that taken care of, told me to take it easy, so I did. I didn't date during the week, only on the weekends. I cut down to about 6 or 8 hours a day in the office. Surprised, I got pneumonia again. He said, I thought I told you to take it easy. I said, I did. He sends me back home again, now take it easy. So I only worked, and I had dates come to the house. It happened a third time. At this particular time, I started getting blisters in my eyes, my nasal cavity, my lips, almost everywhere it would seem. And I was kind of half under some sort of a spell of addiction. I don't know what it was. But people would see me in the street and they would walk away. Army Archer carried an item in the column that I was not well. When Army carried an item like that, it meant you were dying. People didn't want to be around someone who was dying, and they stayed away. It made me feel badly. I had nobody to take care of. It was a terrible feeling for a change. And then it got worse. The blisters, they were in my eyes and my nose and elsewhere, started appearing on my skin as well. The doctors thought it was either congenital syphilis or maybe smallpox. I was hoping for smallpox. Went into the hospital. I was almost thoroughly involved with these blisters. They would break. 2 more would come in its place. They would break, 4 more, all over my body. And my skin started to peel off. I had a small tattoo on my wrist. Lost that. It went down 5 layers on the inside and 5 layers on the outside. I was in coma most of the time. I would wake up periodically, and when I did, I earned my nickname, which was the thing that screams on the 3rd floor. It's charming. At any rate, finally a friend of mine went up to the physician in charge of my case and said, I'm going to kill you unless you find one more doctor who can tell me what's wrong with him. 11 doctors couldn't. They finally figured out, well, it's his skin. Let's call in a skin doctor. So they brought in a dermatologist. He dealt with exotic diseases. He looked at me. He said, Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Give him cortisone. 3 days later, I was awake most of the time. It was wonderful. Not so wonderful. About halfway through the hospital stay, these 2 women came in and said, hello, honey, we're going to give you a bath, warm bath. You're going to feel so good. And they pulled back the sheet, and they looked at me and said, holy God in heaven, what happened to you? I couldn't respond. I had tears in my eyes. They picked me up using the sheet. Those 2 women took me into the bathroom, lowered me into the tub, and the second my buttocks hit that tub, I screamed and passed out. I had a lesion on my back that was 9 inches by 14 inches. And the second that hit the water, it was like it was boiling. It was just terrible. And I came to, and they were holding me under the water, all except for my face, and they said, don't you worry, sweetheart, we'll take care of you. I don't recall anybody really taking care of me. I was the caregiver, not the caretaker. But they really made me feel almost whole again. For the rest of my stay there, I realized after a while that what I had missed in my life was being cared for. I was always the one that charged to the fore and said, I'll take care of this, don't you worry about it, let me handle it. It changed my entire life. 2 ways. Number 1, having gone through the illness, I stopped working my 40-hour days, and I started going to a gym, taking care of myself, etc. Lived to a ripe old age. That was very nice. And also this, I learned to accept care. It was a wonderful feeling.